Hi, this is Kelly with Four Legs Up Barbecue, Kelly's Barbecue Seasonings, and K4L Cookers. Today we're going to talk about ribs. Picked up some ribs at Walmart today. I'm going to season those up, run them on the K4L Drum Cooker this afternoon. So we've got something for supper tonight. We've actually got a couple other people coming over so they can try some of these ribs. Going to do a little bit different seasoning on one slab of them. See what we think of that, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But let's show you how we're going to prep these ribs, and we'll get that going. So here we are, just a Walmart pack of Prairie Fresh natural ribs. Really pretty good ribs. The only thing, buying them that way, these are in single packs at least, so you can sort. And yes, I stand there in front of the meat counter, probably making a bunch of other people mad, and sort ribs. But what you're looking for is the white stuff and the red stuff. Not the surface fat necessarily, but the intermuscular fat. The white stuff in the red stuff. And I want them good and thick. So these were it's actually a really nice slab. A whole lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Get yourself a paper towel, fold it in half. These are the single sheets. So when you put your ribs down on there, they don't slide near as bad. Now these were bought as, I'll show you here. Says right here, pork St. Louis style ribs, which means they've got spare ribs. Pork St. Louis style spare ribs, which means they already have a lot of the cartilage cut off down here on this side. But I do like to trim those up a little bit. It's not that big of a deal if they get them real big. So I'm going to go down here to the end of the bone. Don't worry, once you do this about 5,000 or 6,000 times, it'll work out pretty good. Now notice there's some cartilage right here going across all that white stuff. So come back in, hit them again. There, notice we don't have any of that white cartilage going across. That way we've got most of that clear off of there. Again, you don't have to. These are already trimmed out fairly well. But that's what I would do. Then, with your trusty teaspoon on the handle, we're going to slide that in underneath the skin on the back side, like that. Twist it, pull it out with another paper towel, grab a hold of that. Hopefully it all comes in one piece. And pull that membrane clear off the back. That membrane won't let smoke go through, won't let seasoning go through, won't do anything else. So pull it off if you can. Then notice on this slab there's a lot of fat, which is fine. That's why we use this teaspoon too. Just use that teaspoon to get underneath it. Peel some of that off. Doesn't all have to come off, but this is some pretty big chunks of fat that no longer we're going to be in there. It's not all going to render off. And it's really hard to pull off with just your fingers. So that's why the spoon works really well. There's a little bit of that membrane still on here yet. I think we got, there it is. There we go. Again, you don't have to get really picky, but see how much of that fat that we got peeled back off of there. Good enough. Okay. Now, these still have this skirt piece attached. That's what they call the skirt. It's off the inside diaphragm of the pig. So this doesn't cook up very well. Just take your really sharp knife. Hopefully you have a really sharp knife. Cut that off. Down there like that. Now, we're looking pretty good. I'm going to cut this end off up here. This little bone is junk. It's not going to be any good. I'm going to cut this end off down here, just a hair right there, because that'll dry up by the time we're done cooking it and not be very good. Trim just a little more here. There we go. It's not bad. I wouldn't argue with that. I'd probably, if I was getting ready for a contest with these, I'd probably take a little bit more time to trim that up. But also see how nice that piece of paper towel down there kept that slab of ribs from sliding around while I was working on it. Ooh, good slab, good slab. There we go. I'm not going to do anything else to that one at all. It's going to go down here so we can get ready to season it here in just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to trim this one pointy bone off up here. And if these get real pointy, I do like trimming them off because we are going to foil these later. That way it doesn't poke holes in your foil. Clean up, aisle 9. Alright, time to get the ribs seasoned. So on 2 of these slabs we're going to use the old Chick-a-Pig. Awesome stuff. If you haven't run it yet, you should. Actually, I've got it in a big bottle. I do get in. So we're just going to hit the back of it. Then we're going to go on down here and get the next one. Chick-a-Pig. Awesome stuff. Won first place chicken team of the year 2 years ago. Scott's Barbecue Shack won ribs in Bullhead City, Arizona with the old Chick-a-Pig. So good stuff. Works on chicken, works on ribs. We do pretty light coat on the back and then come hit it just about like that. Covered well. I don't want to get too much on. Here's the back side of slab number 2. That we've already got Chick-a-Pig on the back side. And go ahead, some guys wait, let that set for a half hour. Kind of up to you, however you want to do it. Back with the Chick-a-Pig again on this side, on the meat side. Just a little bit more right there, just so I got the meat covered. That's kind of all I really want to hit them with. Then they're going to set for about an hour and 15 minutes today. Outside, don't worry, they're not going to get ruined if you let them sit outside. I guess you can throw them in the fridge if you want to. No big deal one way or another. So let's move on down to slab number 3. Okay, slab number 3. We're going to do this a little bit different because I've got a new combo here that I want to try, which is the cowboy mesquite, the steak burger and fajita, and cow dust. We're going to run a third of the cow dust, a third, and a third in this mix that we're calling right now Kelly's ET. Extra tasty, extra terrific. It might be extra terrible, I don't know yet, but it might be who knows what. We're going to run it on here and find out that. So let me take the lid off. There we go. And we're back to seasoning some ribs. So this one's going to be way more savory. This does have quite a little bit of sugar in that mix though. But with that cow dust, the cowboy mesquite, and the steak burger and fajita, it's going to have a lot more of the chili side of it. Got probably a little bit more heat. I don't know how that's going to come through. I know it tastes really good that way. You know, so it just kind of depends on really on what you want. Do you want a savory rib? Do you want a sweet rib? You know, then we can go savory here, and then we're probably going to run a little brown sugar and butter, some apple juice when we foil this. Just covered, just like that. Okay, again, we're going to let these set out now for about an hour, up to 2 hours. And yeah, if I'm going to let them sit for more than 2 hours, I'll probably throw them in the fridge or get them someplace where it's cool. Put that over like that, and we will be ready to put these on the cooker in about an hour and 15 minutes. And here we are. The K4L cooker, drum cooker, has settled in. She's running at 300 degrees, about right where we want her. There's where we got the air intake set. We've got good clean smoke coming out. Actually, can't hardly see any smoke. You can see a little bit of heat. That's just what we're wanting. We've got, there's the food grate. I just wanted to show you that I've actually got it set up with the cyclone flame diffuser in it to cook these ribs. So we can lay those ribs down flat on the grate and not have to worry about them. They're all going to cook evenly with that flame diffuser in there. So let's put those in. We'll show you how to do that. Alrighty, time to put the ribs in. So we got the flame diffuser in there, that cyclone flame diffuser really does give us a very uniform cook on this food grate up here. I can lay stuff on it, I can put hamburgers all the way around it. They'll all come off at the same time without having to spin them, play with them, move them. A lot of times in a barbecue contest I will move them just because I think I need to at a contest, but these I won't need to. You know, a lot of times we do things not because we have to, just because we want to. So there we go. I'm going to come back in about an hour and 15 minutes and wrap these. We may pop the lid on them, look at them a little bit, see what they're doing, but probably won't do much to them. You can spritz if you want to. Just see what they're looking like and what they're feeling like here after a while. I'm going to close the lid, let them run for about 30 minutes before we come out and do anything at all. There we go. It has been an hour and 20 minutes since we put those ribs on. We are still running at 300 degrees. Air vents still same as where they were at. We got some nice color and smell coming out of the exhaust on it. The best way to tell what kind of smoke you have coming out of your exhaust is smell it. If it smells good, it's good. If it smells bad, you need to do something right away. So we're getting ready to wrap these. Let's look and see what we got. Looking good. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I'll let them run a little bit longer on a drum than I will, say, a pellet grill or a stick burner or something like that, generally, because I'm trying to get a little bit more of that flavor that we're going to get. Wait for that smoke to come up and start getting that flavorful smoke coming out of there. But you notice on the bottom of these with that flame, that cyclone, but you'll notice on the bottom of these ribs with that cyclone flame diffuser, they're not burnt, they're nice and brown, they're going to be tasty. So let's get those wrapped up and we'll get them back on there. All we're doing today is just some simple, there's a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. This was actually dark brown sugar. Kind of depends on what you want to use. A 1/2 stick of butter. Actually, it's a little bit more than a 1/2 stick because half a stick and an 1/8 of a tablespoon, a 1/3 of a tablespoon, because I had a tablespoon left and I didn't want to leave it in the fridge, so I went ahead and used it up anyway. Just wrap this up just so we can get a little more flavor with that butter, brown sugar. Then we're going to about 3 ounces of apple juice, or 4, somewhere in there. This is 11 ounces. We're just going to split it kind of between 3 of them. That's all it takes. And I am going to mark this one because this was the ET ones we did that we're going to either call extra tasty, extra terrestrial, if you want to call them that, extra something, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Back on there for probably about another hour, and we will see what they're going to do. There they are, and off we go. Okay, we're back. We have been about 45 minutes since we wrap these, so we are going to flip them in the wrap. That does help them cook a whole lot more uniform that way, in my opinion, at least. So, you know, that's one great thing about barbecue is there's a lot of different things that work for a lot of different people, depending on what you want to do with them. So this is the way I like to do them. I don't. Just going to flip them over, bone side down without trying to lose any of the juice. Trying to get this one open up so you can see it a little bit. There. That's the one with the new mixture rub on it. There we go. One more. Flip that bad boy over. Roll these back up again. And let these go for probably normally about another 15 minutes, but we will see. They felt a little tight right there from the way they normally feel, but some nice 4 legs up Kelly's barbecue seasonings and K4L cooker gloves. If you need some, let me know. We can get you some. Alright, we've been about 20 minutes since we have flipped these ribs. Let's check them and see if they're ready yet. We're going to use our trusty thermal pin, but we really don't care what the temperature says. That is just a poker. Nope, not yet. Feel them. Feel them if they're done. Nope. A little stiff, so I'm not even going to check that out of them. Okay. They're just a little bit stiff yet, so probably another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, let's check these again and see. Yes, that one is nice and soft. It's like a hot knife through butter. And I got the yep. Nice and soft, just like a hot knife through butter. That's what we're looking for. So, 2 hours and 45 minutes on this batch today. One more step before we finish these up. We're going to shake these around good to get all that good foil juice over the top. See, they're kind of a little bit dry there. Let's see if I can shake them a little bit. There we go, just shaking. You don't have to get a brush out and brush them. Just shake them good. Okay, then we're going to pour just a little bit of that off. so the foil juice is not going to go back up over the top of them again. There we go. That's the one with the hole in it. Now, come back in with our chicken pig, right back over the top, about like that. Hit this one. And that new rub combo. One more time right there. All right, now we're going to let this set. With that moisture in there, with getting that moisture back over on top of those, that's going to help soak that rub up, give us some flavor. Let that soak in just a little bit before we come back and sauce them here in about 10 minutes. We're back. These ribs have set now for about 10 minutes to get that seasoning to soak up. So now we're going to drain that foil juice completely off. While these are still warm, we're going to sauce them, because we do that while these are still warm. There's enough latent heat in these to go ahead and get that sauce to set. Okay, so that's why we do, it's a good time for double gloves. Sauce, sauce. You don't have to put ribs back on. We're not putting very much sauce on, just a little bit. Okay, now we can flip them again. Get the front sides, the meat side. Now I can pull these gloves off that are all sticky from that foil juice with all that butter and brown sugar and stuff in there. Sauce, sauce, sauce. Again, I don't want a lot of sauce on them. Let it set now again for about 10 minutes, and that sauce will set up nice and pretty. It's not going to be baked on, but I don't want it baked on. I just want that sauce to be a little bit tacky. All right, we'll come back and slice these up here in a little bit. Okay, so let's get these ribs finished up. The first one here. Look, see, ribs. See that sauce is set up. It's not. It's set up just as much as I want it. It's not baked on or anything like that, but just right. Okay, they're slicing good. You can always feel how done your ribs are by how they slice. There we go. Now take these over to a waiting piece of foil that you've got out ahead of time. Ooh, yes. Just nice ribs. See, that was that one that had the low spot on it. See the edge of it? I got into the bone. That's all right. See, there's the other side of it. But now look here. Yeah. See that? It's got some moisture there. Got that good fat, good flavor. Fat is flavor. There's the best rib of the whole bunch right there. Another good one. All right, got those down. That one's the Chick-a-Pig. This one is also the Chick-a-Pig. I'm about ready to go eat supper. I suggest you guys go do the same. Do your own ribs on your own K4L cooker using your own stash of Kelly's barbecue seasonings. So we'll be seeing you. Thanks.